Okay, welcome to SBG Cork City. I'm joined by a heavyweight sensation. I'm afraid to look at him. Normally we look at people in interviews, but this guy is just too big. Ryan The Hulk Spillane. First of all, Ryan, thanks for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you for this.
How's things? How have you been keeping?
No, I'm great. I've been in fight camp since Christmas, so training's going very well, and I'm in a good form. I'm always in a good form.
That's good. How did you get so big?
I would say my parents are fairly small as well, so
yeah.
I'm genetically made from the Hulk,
Definitely. You have a fair physique, to be fair, now I must say.
Thanks.
And you look smaller on Facebook. When I walked into SBG, I was just like, Jesus.
Yeah, people say that I'm a bigger person.
Definitely. Now we have to talk about the early days, okay? You're making quite some noise across the country, across Europe. How did it start for you first day?
For me, I was playing rugby at a fairly high level. I was in the Munster Academy and stuff, and rugby kind of stops around May and stuff, so we have an off season, and I knew a few lads that were training here. We used to be called K2C at that stage, and I said I'd just come down, and for me at that time I was there doing fitness for rugby, and I always say that the day I came in I just literally fell in love with it, and Liam couldn't get rid of me then that day. I actually on the first day inside here we were doing double legs, and double leg is pretty much rugby tackles, so from that day Liam kind of knew that he had something dealing with. I actually cut Liam open. I split him open on the first day. I tackled him. We went underneath a shutter, and his face caught the steel. I just literally slid him open there. So I've been hurting Liam since then.
Definitely. And did you have any early interest, growing up? Was there any? Obviously, you played rugby, so you liked the hard physical game, obviously. But
so my dad was a boxer. My dad boxed for Ireland loads times and all that. So that was kind of always there. In rugby, I was never the fella that would start fights. I was always the fella that would kind of get the fight started and then I back away and let everyone else fight. I didn't want to get hit. So I got a beautiful face, I still had a beautiful face, but it was always my era. It never been Jack Chan movies and all that. For me, it would have been like the Warrior film. I remember seeing that, and I was like, that looks really cool and all that. I didn't really know what UFC was at that stage. I just kind of knew there was fighting crack and all that. Then once I joined, I kind of backdated everything and watched everything, and I called myself a fan of the UFC and all that. But I wasn't really a fan at the start. For me, it was really. I heard that kickboxing and all that was really good for fitness and all that, and that was pretty much what I did. I knew nothing about it. When I came in the first day, all the lads were wearing their gis, so the karate suits, as some people call it. But I was like, the lads rolling around with the pajamas on the floor there, that was a bit weird. But that was pretty much how I started. And then as rugby went on, I eventually got dropped from the Munster squad and all that, and then it was hard to play rugby then from that age. It was weird to play rugby. I fell in love with MMA, and then I think it was 2 years ago, I just done full time, and I've been doing it ever since then.
Definitely. Can you remember your first? Obviously, there's the first fight and the first spar session. Can you remember your first spar session? Were you nervous, or was it just get me in there? I want to do damage, even though sparring's light?
I actually remember the first sparring session. It was very funny because when all the lads that were training around me, because I was only 15 at that stage, so I was still a kid. I was the same size. I was a big kid, but I was training with a lot of older 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and they were small. And I remember I sparred a fella, and he was around that height, small fella. And I remember he kicked me once, and I fell straight there. He leg kicked me twice, and I collapsed, and I was on the ground in pain and all that, and that kind of kept pushing me on because it was the little fellas beating me up, and then kind of the little thing in your head kind of goes you have to if a little fella can beat you up, you kind of have to keep going and get better, And then as I went on, then the little fellas stopped beating me up. The little fellas don't beat me up anymore now.
It all changed. And first fight, obviously, it's a big thing, okay? How did you find that? Obviously, it's a big step from sparring to get into that ring and then doing the fight.
It was actually my first actual fight was it was a boxing. It was a white collar boxing. Yeah. And as Liam normally does, he gave me on a week's notice, so I didn't have that much time preparing. And I stepped in, and it was very funny because I still watch back the same footage and all that. It's very funny. I grabbed his head and I started uppercutting him with one hand and holding him with the other hand. I won the fight or whatever, but the nerves didn't really hit. As I remember, I didn't really was that nervous for that one. Yeah. And then I had a few K1 fights and all that, and the nerves were never really playing me. But then when I fought my first MMA fight, that's a whole different story. I feel with the ring, it's open, and it feels it's open. You can fall over ring on that. But a cage, it's still open, but the cage around you, it's kind of a claustrophobic kind of feeling.
Can only imagine.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a closed door. It's very weird. And from then, the nerves have always been there. But it's something. I don't know who said it, but if you don't have nerves, you're not ready. That kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's kind of have to deal with the nerves and stuff like that. But it was definitely the first fight was nervous, and as fights went on, the the nervousness kind of built up, which is weird enough. Like,
what's it like to fight outside of Ireland? Because I know you fight quite a bit. What's it like to be outside of the country? Do you get or is it okay? There's respect all around, obviously.
I've never actually fought in Cork.
Yeah.
I've always, like, my first proper fight was in Donegal and stuff like that. But outside of Ireland, my first fight would have been, my second MMA fight was in Birmingham.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It's kind of a thing, like, it kind of was clicking in the back of my head and all that. It's like, I've travelled this far and you kind of have to win. And I won eventually. I won that fight and lost the second fight, whatever that. But yeah, it's different. So the first place I fought was Australia, and there it felt like home, whatever. I fought in Bahrain. I actually prefer travelling because you get to see the world and all that.
You do, of course. Can't beat that.
At home, then you have other kind of, you're flying at home, you're flying Ireland and all that. But flying the tricolour is definitely a plus.
It's definitely amazing. Yeah. You've achieved so much already. You're so young. For you, what's been your greatest achievement to date?
It would have been definitely the bronze medal, so my recent bronze medal at the World Championships.
I was thinking that.
I was the youngest there, like, you know, it was awesome because the lads I'm fighting there, like, so the world champion, he's been the world champion for the last 6-7 years. I didn't actually fight him. Yeah. I wanted, because he beat me back in Prague, and I wanted to redeem that, like, but I didn't get a chance, whatever. Hopefully we'll meet again soon sometime. But definitely the bronze medal at the Worlds was definitely a big one for me. Like, that was definitely the best for me.
Definitely, and obviously you're fairly active. You've got 2 big fights coming up, Cage Legacy, and of course we've seen you fighting in Belfast as well. How are you going to approach these fights? Same as always?
Same as always. Like, for me now, it's just literally racking up fights, it's experience and stuff like that. Like, I'm not going in there just to take a fight, you know. Instead, I'm going in to win. Like, I believe myself that I'm on a mirror level to the heavyweights. You know, like, if you ask any of the lads who I spar with, I don't actually move like a heavyweight, because I've been sparring with lightweights, featherweights, flyweights my whole life, that I've kind of gotten faster and had to deal with that. Like, so even if I'm wrestling and stuff, like, I'm always faster, stronger, and all that. And I believe none of the heavyweights. I believe most heavyweights are just fat guys going in there to fight. Yeah. That's not me. Like, I'm actually going in there to perform. Myself, I believe I'm one of the best blue belts there is in jiu-jitsu right now. Like, I haven't lost in my own weight division in jiu-jitsu in the gi or no gi. Yeah. In striking, I believe no one can stand me when I'm on form. Definitely. And what's it work like? You know, you're always working with Liam. He's a credit to the country. Yeah. What's it like being around Liam? And obviously the family. There's a great bunch there. Liam, I owe Liam everything, because if I didn't have this, I'd be on a way different path, like, you know, all that, like, because a lot of my friends and all that are on different paths and all that, like, and I believe that I'd probably go in the same way with him, and then I'd be out drinking and all that, like, and sticking with him. I believe he is one of the best coaches Definitely in the country. Like I've had John Cavan in my corner. I've had like high level coaching, and he sticks up right there with the top. Like, and the team we have is just a credit to his coaching standards. Definitely. And we just have to ask before we go. There's an amazing career ahead for you. We know that. We spoke to Liam, and obviously Liam knows when the time's right. But will you be looking obviously to go professional? You know, when the time's right. But is this something you're looking at already, or are you going to wait a while? It's this year I'll turn pro. I'd like, so right now I'm around 13, 12 fights right now. Yeah. I'd like to rack up 5, 6 more fights, and the way I'm going, I'll have them before summer. Yeah. And I'd like to turn pro then. I believe I'm at the level like the pros here in Ireland are heavyweight, and in England aren't that great. And I believe I can run through them at the stage I am right now. Well, I wouldn't question that one bit, sir. Now, we have to do our famous face-off. Do you ever do the face-offs? Obviously you do. I haven't done many, because with the European stuff, you don't do face-off. I've done a few, and I have my skills there. I don't know, should I get a stool, or should I just, I'm going to try. So we've done face-off with John Redmond. We've had a load. Well, I'm going to do a 3-second start-off, because you're quick. I'm not as good as Johnny Jitsu now, but we'll do it. Yeah. Anyone that fights him is getting knocked out. Simple as. Ryan, thank you, my man. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.